All right. Good morning, everyone. It is Friday, July 11th. We have a gap lower on NQ this morning. So far, we've actually seen a pretty nice bounce versus last week's volume point of control. It's right here in this 833 area. There's a level that we talked about earlier in the week. We could see it held as support on Monday as well as Tuesday and Wednesday morning. Again, last week's volume point of control, that area being tested again right here this morning with a move that started last night during the overnight session. A pretty swift reaction lower into that 840. A decent bounce, definitely a decent bounce up into 970, almost into that 23K level again. And now price is just kind of settling right here at 22,900. So the main focus this morning is definitely the reaction here to 22,900. Really, what I want to see is whether buyers can continue to defend this area of support, kind of develop this into a higher low and retest this overnight pivot, maybe even give a push up into 23K and the near term range high. Now, if 900 fails, I'll pretty much be hands off until 840 is retested. And we really want to see if buyers are going to be able to continue to support that level or if we're going to see some action into 780 and then maybe even 600 if support is going to fail today. So that's the focus. 22,900 main level of interest on watch this morning. NQ kind of in a near term range here. This is definitely an area of support for that near term range. So we'll see if buyers are going to continue to defend this thing or not. That is the focus. It is Friday. If you've had a tough week, if you had a long week and you're feeling it this morning, definitely do not need to be a gunslinger today. Decision fatigue is a very real thing. End of the week, traders tend to do some damage on Friday. So keep that in mind. If Fridays are typically tough for you, I know when I was in my early years of development, Friday was always, always, always my worst day. Always my worst day. That had something to do with zero DTE options, definitely. But big part of that is also decision fatigue, just being tired by the end of the week. So something to keep in mind there. You're not going to make your week on a single day. You can definitely ruin your week on a single day, though. So, as always, make sure you're aligning with your A plus setups, staying patient, staying prudent with risk management, keeping those stops in place, not trading if you have broker issues or platform issues. Things that should be pretty elementary and straightforward, really. But once that bell rings and the emotions start flying, a lot of that stuff can go out the window. So just keep it in mind. Keep it in mind. We've got 90 seconds till the open. No economic data this morning. Nothing to worry about there. Let's take a look at the intraday, the extended hour session, the overnight, the Asia and London session. Some folks call this. I just call it the overnight. Keep it simple. Overnight session. Volume point of control right here at 905, right near prior day low. Prior day low pretty much overlapping with 900. Of course, you have the overnight low, and then that last week in structural volume point of control right near 840, 830 area. VWAP currently up above. So past few hours, price just kind of in this tighter structure here. We'll see how that looks. Definitely have a gap lower this morning. What's up, Dom? What's up, Chad? All right, there's the open. Nice push right there, right off the open. Got ES already into prior day low. Let's take a look at this gap this morning. Yeah, it's a big gap lower. Still within the prior day's range. Regular open within the prior day's range. Almost into that overnight pivot right through here. 976 area, 970 area. Staying patient, per usual. Per usual. Need good location. NQ getting back in a VWAP. Opening 5-minute bar has another minute or so on it. NQ coming into session lows. ES, very nice rejection there at prior day low and VWAP. If you like to trade the S&P, that was beautiful. Good reference point with VWAP there. Let's take a look. Yeah, there it is. There it is. It's pretty nice. Pretty nice. RTY into prior day low. NASDAQ just sitting on VWAP here. Volume surprisingly low considering the overnight move, below average already. Here come the session lows on NQ. So 900's on watch. 22,900. What's our session low? Is that 909 and a half? It looks like. Yeah, right through there. Yeah, ES, new low of day. RTY, new low of day. What's up, Timmy? Session low right there, NQ. Let's see if buyers have any interest in the prior day low, 22,900 area. Otherwise, we'll be looking at 840. Looks like pretty much no interest there so far. Yeah, no bid at 900. And like I mentioned, hands off till 840 personally. Still cash on the morning. So downside level 840, that comes from the last week volume point of control. It's also a lot of support from this week right through there. Overnight low area. Right through there. Anyone grab that short in ES, the S&P? Nice 2-hour trader framework setup right there. RTY cracking lower. New low of day. Price retest 900. You get rejected right there at the level of interest. Buyers finding some interest in this value area low here. Keep an eye on that 5-minute. Opening 15-minute bar closes here in 2.5 minutes. Very slight new low of day there on NASDAQ. Staying patient, staying patient. Still cash. Still cash this morning. Session volume point of control stepped lower. Now into 887. ES coming into your overnight low. NQ new low of day. Higher time frame, lower high. Talking about that, the pre-market pivot right here. Or the move that was just formed. Regular trading hours. Oh, gotcha. Buyers still liking this area. We'll see the reaction up into 900 right here. See how that intraday structure builds out now. 900 stays on watch. That's also the prior day low. So a reclaim with some favorable sort of entry could definitely be worthwhile. For now, still cash. Into VWAP. It's a nice push. Look at that volume. There you go. No, they're not going to give an entry. No entry granted. No entry for you. No entry for me either. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, man. Ten till 10 a.m. Support zone continues to hold. In that scenario, definitely would prefer a real test down into 840. Of course, but it's real life trading for you. ES back into VWAP. NASDAQ just shy of session highs. 6 minutes till 10 a.m. Still cash on the morning personally. I was interested in that action near 900. Price did not present an entry that I can personally work with. So we don't chase, we don't force anything. We just wait. Just wait. No bad habit building around here. Till this 30-minute bar closes in the next 4 minutes. Is that the range for today? Is that it? No 10 a.m. data. See if we get a break of the highs. New high of day. Good old fresh high. NQ new high of day. Coming into that overnight pivot now, 976. And ES is back in a prior day low as well. This 970, 975 area will be significant for today's session. Overnight pivot right through here. NQ just shy of it right now. And 1 minute till 10 a.m. No data. All right, there's 10 a.m. NQ watching 975 area. Like I said, still cash. If you're joining us late, I was looking for action near 22,900 this morning. The setup kind of developed for me in an unfavorable location beneath the level of interest. And then once we had that reclaim of the level of interest, there was not an entry that I saw that made sense from a risk to reward perspective. So, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Stay patient. Unless your playbook says trade anything, in which case you're probably already sweating right now. Probably very active. The NQ sweats. The NASDAQ sweats. Brain just getting fried. Yeah, exactly. Like the meat sweats? Exactly, exactly. ES back in a prior day low. Definitely a valid reference point to keep on watch. RTY back in a prior day low. I think NQ, some relative strength here versus ES this morning. Looks like NQ is the only thing that made a fresh high on the session. See what sort of fib retracement levels we've got this morning. 50% right there near VWAP, 61% down there near the 900 and prior day low area. Send near term range remains in play. Was that 6 days now? Price has yet to leave the Thursday, July 3rd session. It's your NQ daily chart right there. Volume below average. Shallow fib being tested. 23% fib. A little consolidation here near the highs. Volume below average still. Keeping an eye on that volume. There's your new high of day. Getting into that overnight pivot, 975 area. No acceptance with the new high of day. How's the morning so far for everyone? How we doing out there? What's it looking like? Cash, same ray? Same. Small red, green, worst day of the week. Oh man. Take a break. Take a break. Don't compound the damage. Green, cash, red. Mixed bag, it sounds like. Mixed bag. Still cash this morning, personally. The one entry I had this morning was down near this area. Oops. Down near here. Except I needed to incorporate the level of interest. And the setup just did not materialize close enough to the level. So my options are just buy blindly above 900, which from time to time can certainly work, but it just sets you up for so much risk. And then the other choice is wait for, a little microstructure, which I'm fine with, but that didn't even materialize. Couldn't really grab the long down here because it was not. Here's the levels that I'm trading against down through here. So while this is part of the support zone, it's not quite close enough for me to set risk against. And that's how you end up with a cash morning right there, at least so far. Got Ray dipping back into the TMG archive. Love that. Yesterday's session was especially good. That TMG sesh, I thought anyway. We hit some good points. NQ is still just consolidating right here near those shallow fibs. RTY, another nice rejection, a prior day low. You had VWAP in close proximity. Nice movement there coming into session lows. if you trade the old Russell. Meanwhile, ES just consolidating near prior day low. Looks like Trump is speaking right now. So let's see. See if he gives us something. Give us a tape bomb. Come on. Shake it up. NQ new high of day. There we go. Into that overnight pivot. Is this going to be a cash day for the self-funded account? Is this going to be a no trade day? TBD. ES into session highs as well. We're getting a little more movement here. Snooze fest. Snooze fest. I'm still cash. Still cash. We're almost 1 hour into the sesh. Watching this 975 level. It's that overnight pivot. Pretty clear on the higher time frame charts. Right through there. See if we get an actual entry, but as of right now, it's leaning more towards a no trade day on the personal account. That's actually a pretty nice entry right there on ES. A little shallow pullback, prior day low, VWAP. All right, NQ coming into 23K level of interest. Gap is about to fill. Overnight gap is about to fill on NQ. 23K prior day close right there. There's 23K, a few points shy of 23K. Almost 1 hour into the session. There's your new high of day. There's a true test of the 23K. Overnight gap completely filled. NASDAQ just steady into the highs. Steady, steady. So watching this reaction here at 23K for NASDAQ. That's your gap fill spot. So the overnight gap is filled completely there. See if sellers step in. See if we get an entry here shortly. Otherwise, I'm going to call it a day. 1 hour into the sesh. This so far has been a no trade day. There was one opportunity that I liked. If you're joining us late, I explained it earlier down near the 22,900. However, no entry was presented that I can get involved with. So, yeah, seller stepping in there versus 23K versus the gap fill spot. Start to see what sort of retracement we get here. Shallow fib right near that overnight pivot at 975. CL, very nice rip there. Nice push on CL. Break above overnight high. Pull back and retest. It's pretty clean right there. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. I've been watching CL a little bit more. Just keeping an eye on it. Learning. Studying. Reviewing. Pre-market notes and CL. I don't think I'll go that crazy with it, but it's good. It's good to have some other options. If you can't find a setup in the main thing you watch, like you can't find a setup or an entry in NQ, see something else in ES or CL, something like that. Give me solid. Can help. Can help. All right, we'll give it 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes. Then we're gonna go ahead. If there's nothing within the next 5 minutes, we're gonna go ahead and take the no trade day on the personal account. Part of the game. part of the game. If you're uncomfortable with a no trade day, you have some work to do. Yeah, Timmy, I'll probably fire up the XFAs. I'll still be at the desk. Just shut down the self-funded, the personal account. Fire up some of the props. I got them all linked now, with the exception of the Top Step XFAs. All the other props are linked via Trade Syncer, so they're all connected. They all follow my ETF Live account. But typically the workflow is like keep the charts up on the side, work on some other things. Today I'll be watching a little Wimbledon, and if the setup materializes, we got the prop accounts ready to execute it. Otherwise, just chilling. NQ new high of day. Easy Friday, yes sir. NASDAQ nonstop. ES pretty steady as well. Nonstop, nonstop, nonstop. This market is resilient. Every dip absorbed. Every pullback bought. That's your bullish environment for you. Where is that volume point of control? Let's see. Yeah, that could work out nice. Yeah, I see that, right? Volume just below average. You may not get that deep of a retracement. A little bit of movement there in RTY. Back beneath prior day low. A little bit more of a pullback on NASDAQ versus the 23K level of interest. Let's bring those fibs back. See what we're looking at. Fibs back in the mix. Shallow fib right there. What is that? 870, 974. Excuse me, 975. RTY back into session lows. That was a pretty fast move there. Pretty fast. And just absorbed at the shallow fib so far. A little uptick in volume. For ES, you can keep an eye on the prior day low VWAP area as well. Ray, if you're still in here. Looks pretty good. All right, that's not bad. Finally found a little something. I'll move that trail into profit immediately. Not my favorite sort of entry. Yeah, trail probably gets taken right here. It must be one of one for today. Volume is just, I mean, it's like 50% of the average. So volume's terrible. The idea there was the overnight pivot, 975 with the shallow fib. B plus entry, B plus A minus, if you ask me. C plus. All right, there's the trail. I'm done. One for one. I'm out of here. That's a wrap on this Friday. Very slow session on my end. Just one trade, literally one trade. We'll take it. We'll take it. Yeah, it's part of the game, Dom. Part of the game. Part of the game. Some sessions are going to be slower. Sometimes there's going to be some big movement and you may not have an entry. That's all right. Your job is to avoid chasing, to avoid that FOMO. So take what you can get, follow your frameworks, respect your rules. Don't crash out on a Friday. No trade day, Ray. All good. All good, man. All right, folks. Hope you have a great weekend. That's a wrap for me. We'll keep it going in the Traders Think Tank here. NQ, I'll be keeping an eye on Fib buy zone if price gets down there. Mostly interested in 900. As always, levels of interest reign supreme for me. Structure based levels. And then ES prior day low and VWAP worth keeping an eye on as well. Volume probably going to be a concern today, so keep an eye on that. That's it. We'll call it there. Call it there. Hope you guys had a great week. We'll see you on Monday. Thanks for your time today and have a great weekend.